What's up, guys? So, Crystal and I just came across an article in Reuters which talks about all of the 2024 presidential candidates who are running, or I think it even has considering running, right?
It does. It even has people like Mike Pompeo that said they are not going to run. They included in this thing.
Listen to this. Here's the title. Fact Box, 2024 U.S. presidential election. Who is in, who is out, and who is still thinking about it? I'm going to go through the list for you. Number 1, Joe Biden. No surprise there. He's going to announce very soon. Number 2, Ron DeSantis. Number 3, Nikki Haley. Number 4, Tim Scott. Number 5, Asa Hutchinson.
Who's that? 0%.
Number 6, Mike Pence. Number 7, Chris Christie. Number 8, Chris Sununu. Number 9, Vivek Ramaswamy. Number 10, Robert Kennedy Jr. Number 11, Mike Pompeo. Number 12, Glenn Youngkin. And that's it. That's the whole thing.
There's a notable name missing from that list.
There is a notable name missing from this list. And by the way, it's just occurring to me now. Okay. They do have Donald Trump listed here too, in the first paragraph. Marianne Williamson is missing. They put in Asa Hutchinson and Vivek Ramaswamy, who combined are polling at like 12 people. They put them in, but they omitted Marianne Williamson. Now, the point that I was making to Crystal is like, because immediately my mind goes to, is this intentional? Or is this just like, the author's an idiot? By the way, Ross Colvin. Get
your shit together, Ross.
You're either a dumbass or you're a liar. So that's the discussion, is like, because I can't imagine, if your job is to write for Reuters and you follow politics for a living, I can't imagine you've never heard of Marianne Williamson. You don't know that she's running. Of course you know. You've seen the 40 articles that announced when she was running, and there's been articles since then that discuss her. So I can't fathom somebody not knowing at this point if your job is to follow politics and write for Reuters. So then, to me, that tells me it is very likely that these people are just lying and they're omitting on purpose simply because they don't like her. But they're willing to take people like Vivek Ramaswamy and Asa Hutchinson seriously. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who just announced 7.5 seconds ago, somehow he's included in the article. But Marianne Williamson, who's been running now for a little bit, totally omitted.
I was actually shocked. I just assumed that RFK Jr. would also be omitted, but I'm sure just because he has the famous last name, they feel like they can't ignore him. I guess that's what's going on.
That's a good point.
But yeah, it's not just this. It's how many polls are taken of the Democratic primary, and the actual announced candidates are not even included. Marianne is left off the list. How many articles are written where they say Joe Biden doesn't have any real primary opponent? When, again, Asa Hutchinson, Tim Scott, the only people in the Republican primary that are polling ahead of Marianne right now are DeSantis and Trump. That's it.
Everybody else, Nikki Haley, all these people who they suck off 24/7 and take them seriously, people like Chris Sununu. They talk about Chris Sununu. Who the fuck are we talking about here? Nobody knows who that guy is. Nobody cares about that guy. Nobody can point that guy out of a fucking lineup. That guy's polling at 0%. He gets more mentions than Marianne Williamson does.
Glenn Youngkin, Mike Pompeo, all these people are literally at 0%. Marianne is at 10% overall, 14% battleground states, over 20% with young people. Like, who the fuck are you to say who's a serious or credible candidate? It's not up to you, especially in a supposedly just fact-based who's in and who's out, and you call yourself a journalist and just leave off the list one of 2 actually announced candidates in the Democratic primary field. It's absolutely insane, but it is repeated in this article, in every article that's written about 2024, in almost every poll that's taken, in every cable news segment. It's just unbelievable. Like, whatever the level of Bernie blackout was, and Andrew Yang blackout, they're taking it to another level this time.
I am perfectly comfortable calling this guy a liar. He's just a liar. Now, by the way, his @ on Twitter is @Ross, ROSS, Colvin, COLVIN. @Ross Colvin. Go tweet him and say you forgot Marianne Williamson. Go tweet him. Don't be rude. Don't be mean. Don't threaten or whatever. Just be like, hey, you forgot Marianne Williamson. You want to do your job properly? Perhaps you should be fired if you don't know how to do your job properly. Because I can't say, these people are liars. They're liars. And they're dripping and oozing with bias. Look, at least we come as advertised. I tell you up front, my candidate for the 2024 race is Marianne Williamson. So there is no bias. I'm telling you, this is my belief. This is my opinion, and now I'll give you all the news and information and my take on it, etc.
Right.
These people pretend like, no, we are honorable and we are objective and we are above it all and we are do factual reporting and it's black and white. And then you omit what the candidate who's been running the second longest other than Donald Trump. Like, are you kidding me?
Who is the choice of Gen Z, by the way? I mean, this is like invisibilizing an entire generation's political autonomy as well, given her strength with that particular population. So
tweet Ross Colvin, tell him to add Marianne into his article. These people are, I have nothing but disdain for them. Nothing but disdain for them. They are the most biased people in the country, and they deserve zero audience because they won't even tell you basic facts.